Good morning. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you all yesterday, but the day just took off, got away from itself. Anyway, a lot of people have asked me how I got started or why I got started recording these readings each day. And it's a simple story, and it's been on my mind that I should tell it. I had just been speaking with my daughters about how I used to feel like I could hear the Holy Spirit's voice in my head or like in my gut. And looking back, I guess what it was is I recognized his voice. And I kind of could focus, like if I were in question about something, I could focus on my core. And I wouldn't realize that I was doing this at the time, but what I would do is hear his voice or like get a knowing. And I said I wanted to get back to that because I don't know whether I just don't hear it or I just ignore it or I just think it's my own thoughts. But anyway, I don't know how many days later that I opened my eyes in the morning because my room was filled with this orange from the sunrise. And this thought came into my head: you should be posting the readings of the day every day. So I got out of bed, I picked up my phone, went out on my balcony and stood there holding the phone up for a couple minutes and recorded the sunrise. And that was day 1, November 27th. So that's how I got started, and I'm just trying to be faithful. I don't know where this is going, but I know that the Holy Spirit has a plan, and maybe it's to reach you. I don't know. But I'm glad that you're here. And I think the Holy Spirit talks to us all the time, but we're just not used to hearing him. So in that morning, when I opened my eyes and heard that voice, which sounds like a thought, but at the same time, you kind of recognize that it's not your thought. Something's or someone is giving you a suggestion. And in this case, it was, you should do this. Not, I should do this, but you should do this. And so I first recognized the voice, and then because I recognized it, I was more able to follow it. So I just wanted to share that with you and encourage you to spend time in quiet, listening, and maybe to make a clear and conscious decision to hear his voice, and then ask that you might hear his voice, and then start listening. It's kind of like a tuning in. So tune in. Okay, so I just want to add a quick disclaimer here that this is just my experience, and it was helpful to me, so I want to share it with you, but I'm not a theologian, and it's just my experience, that's all. Okay, so today's first reading is from 2 Samuel 6, 12b through 15 and 17 through 19. David went to bring up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David amid festivities. As soon as the bearers of the ark of the Lord had advanced 6 steps, he sacrificed an ox and a fatling. Then David, girt with a linen apron, came dancing before the Lord with abandon. As he and all the house of Israel were bringing up the ark of the Lord with shouts of joy and to the sound of the horn. The ark of the Lord was brought in and set in its place within the tent David had pitched for it. Then David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. When he finished making these offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts. Then he distributed among all the people, to each man and each woman in the entire multitude of Israel, a loaf of bread, a cut of roast meat, and a raisin cake. With this, all the people left for their homes. And that is the word of the Lord. Our gospel today comes from Mark 3, 31 through 35. The mother of Jesus and his brothers arrived at the house. Standing outside, they sent word to Jesus and called him. The crowd seated around him told him, "Your mothers and your brothers and your sisters are outside asking for you." But he said to them in reply, "Who are my mother and my brothers?" And looking around at those seated in the circle, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whomever does the will of God is my brother and sister and mother." And that is the gospel of the Lord. Brothers and sisters, our Bible promise comes today from Isaiah 41:13. "For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not. I am the one who helps you." Keep your eyes on the kingdom and have a great day, everybody. Hi, Mom. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Amanda.